Alright boys, we're back on the PC setup. Just wanted to give you guys another little trade recap. We actually did not end up taking the trade today. Just to give you guys a reference, today is June 3rd, 2025, and today was actually a win for me, guys. So I'll give you guys a little breakdown. I came into market at around 7:15. Boom, we came into market right here. So this is what market looked like when we came in. And obviously within my trading plan, I usually am a morning trader. So with the open, I usually trade. So to give you guys just to be honest, so I do use liquidity sweep, break a structure / change in the state of direction, and then I use order block, fair value gap entries. What I usually do is I start from a daily time frame. I look, I find a bias. I go to the 4 hour, I look, I find a bias. I go to the 1 hour, I look, I find a bias. And then on the 30, 15 minute, and 5 minute are what I use for my entries. Mainly the 5 minute and the 15 minute. The 30 minute I kind of use as like the 30 minute and the 1 hour I kind of use as like my middle time frames. They give me like my realistic intraday targets of liquidity. So when I came into the market, I obviously had seen that we had already swept Asia session lows, right, with London, and then I had also seen that we kind of just like stopped, like not really on a draw of liquidity, internal liquidity possibly you might want to call it, but not really a very apparent and super visible draw on liquidity. So I did not consider this move obviously I know it was a liquidity sweep, but when I'm waking up in the morning, I'm starting here looking. I like to see a liquidity sweep, break a structure, and then I use my my daily bias to find where I want it to go. My setup is mainly for reversals, not as much as continuations, and I'm realizing I can have different trading plans for different type of days. If I see a continuation, if I see range trading, which I usually stay away from because I like to catch the big move. That's what I originally learned, so that's what I stick to. So obviously if you look right here, so I came in right here, I seen this fair value gap. I didn't even mark it out because if you guys don't remember from the last video, I don't know if you guys seen the last trade recap, we actually were in a daily fair value gap right here. I kind of got faked out right here. I kind of sometimes when you look too deep into the time frames, it kind of can messes you up. So that's why you should kind of stick to a couple time frames. But I do like finding my daily bias by looking through all the time frames and waiting for them all to align together, kind of, sort of. So that's what I really like. Like if you find on the daily, you just broke structure to the upside, and then on the 15 minute, you just had a retracement, a grab of liquidity and then you're changing the state and directions to the upside. Like you kind of want to see all your time frames start to align. You know what I mean? That's how you really catch a very big move. So I actually didn't do that for this trade because I was looking for a reversal, but I think I kind of was looking for a continuation. But before we go lower, you always want to see market go higher. So what I wanted to wait for was for us to come back up here and take out these London session highs, maybe even tap into an imbalance over here possibly. And then I would be looking for a fair value gap to get inversed, and that's exactly what we have right here. I marked this fair value gap once price made it and came up to here. I seen this little draw on liquidity, and then I kind of waited. So I seen that price had came back in here and bounced off, even though, so like sometimes when you see a fair value gap and you just learned about fair value gaps, you think every single time price touches a fair value gap that it's going to distribute to the upside, or because a fair value gap most of the time is a continuation confluence. Like it shows that price is going to continue. When you find a bullish fair value gap, you're looking for it to come back into that fair value gap and then continue in a bullish trend. So what I had seen was, and this is my first indicator right here, you might see this as a big move. Right when I seen this candlestick right here, this black candlestick, this 5 minute candlestick come all the way back, and then also the wick of this bullish candlestick, big sign for me, like price is about to be on bullshit. Another thing, I didn't check the news, so it's another good thing I didn't trade, because I don't really know. News is a confluence. It gives you a sort of a bias. Obviously, it's not concrete bias, but it gives you a bias. So I didn't check news. Another reason not to trade. I didn't see the sweep of liquidity, so I wasn't really counting it as a sweep of liquidity. And then I also, once we got back into this fair value gap, right? So we left, we came in, we did all this, and then we left. This is a move, this is a push out of the fair value gap. But I want you guys to know what this looks like on the 4 hour and the daily. So right here, this is what this looks like on the daily. You can see we came back in here, and then we pushed back out, and then right here is about New York session, London session combination. This is obviously, this is an hour. These are our daily candles, so this is all 3 sessions inside of it. But I seen that once we pushed out of here, we kind of came back into here. So now what I was looking for this to be inverse possibly. Obviously, I was going to wait to see what the market wanted to show me, what price action was, and that's what I did. I waited, I stayed patient. My setup didn't pop up. I didn't take a trade. So I am very proud of myself, because trading is very exciting when you first learn. You kind of to the point where I used to make setups in my head. Like, when I say I used to, I'm talking about a week ago. I used to make setups in my head, like, just because I wanted to hit that buy sell button so bad. So I wanted to see this fair value gap get inverse. Once I seen price come back in here, guess what? It bounced back. It's respecting bullish. Confluences, right? What do? We came back in. What we do? Get another slight little push off. I know it's not a big push, but it's respecting this gap. And then finally, we came in here. I had set a mark. I wanted to see if price wanted to come down into here. And then possibly if this whole inverse fair value gap was taken, I might have waited for equilibrium of this move. Sorry, I had to find my equilibrium. I would have waited for equilibrium of this low and high. I wanted price to come right back around to this 0.38 mark, and then I would have went bearish. I would have shorted it, but price did not do that. And I also had seen this as kind of a range day. Once I seen this, price wasn't just moving one direction. It was kind of, like we had this move. This was a good move to catch. That's what I'm saying. I could have caught this, but I didn't. And then also these candlesticks, I'm a beginning trader. These were throwing me off. Like, that's a lot of insane volatility. Like, you know what I'm saying? But so I didn't end up trading here. And as you guys can see, what did we do? We range traded throughout the whole day. You know what I'm saying? Until we finally inverse this fair value gap right here. But at this time, I'm not even looking at price, bro. I'm not looking at price. It was ass. Also, if you look at the S&P, NASDAQ, price action was not that good. So I'm very happy that I waited and I did not take this trade. Now, what I could have done is I could have found biases within this session, went down to the 1 minute, and then found some entries. As you guys know, price is fractal. Now you see how the 1 minute looks completely different. Like this, these are big moves. These are grabs on liquidity. So I could have did that, but I did not. I stuck to my trading plan. I didn't see a setup, so I didn't take one. And I'm very, very pleased with how I performed today, even though I didn't get to take a trade, which I would be super excited for. But as you can see, look at this. I marked it as a yellow fair value gap because that's what I wanted it to be, but it didn't end up breaking through. So that's what we like to see. So I got the bullish fair value gap. So that's actually what it was. And as you can see, every single time price is touching this, it's jumping away. Touching it, jumping away. Look at this, range trading, resetting back to equilibrium right here. As you can see, range trading, comes back to equilibrium, bounces back, comes back to equilibrium, even more so, really came into discount, pushed away, came back into this fair value gap again, pushed away, so we got a fucking dump coming from Asia session. Look at this. But so we didn't take a trade on the day, boys. I'm very pleased with my performance. I'm very happy, very satisfied. So that's how the day went. We went to the gym. We did other things. We got some editing done. I posted my first trade recap. So make sure you guys go check out the TikTok. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube. Turn those post notifications on, and also leave some comments, leave some likes. Help me get into the algorithm a little bit. But that's how the day went. I take this as a dub. I preserved capital. I didn't FOMO, and I wasn't greedy. So I'm happy with that. But that's the trade recap for today, boys. I'll catch you boys tomorrow with another trade recap. Let's get this road to profitability going. As always, I love you guys. Stay up. Millie out. Yum.